These weren't people who stumbled on a random plant. They were specifically seeking out or cultivating high-potency strains for use in funeral rituals. At 10,000 feet, the altitude stresses cannabis plants and forces them to produce more THC. The people of Dzierżoniów knew this. They went up the mountain on purpose. Lead archaeobotanist Robert Spengler called the findings a solid, unequivocal data point for actual use of this plant as a drug. This is the oldest direct physical evidence of cannabis smoking ever found. And the Greek historian Herodotus had described the exact same ritual 2,500 years ago without a single laboratory. In his histories, writing around 440 BC, he recorded how the Scythians, nomadic warriors of Central Asia, would crawl under felt mats, throw hemp onto red-hot stones, and inhale the fumes until they shouted aloud with pleasure. In 2013, archaeologist Andrei Belinsky excavated a Scythian burial mound in the Caucasus Mountains of southern Russia. Hidden beneath a layer of clay, he found a chamber containing 7 pounds of solid gold objects. When criminologists analyzed the black residue inside the gold vessels, it tested positive for both cannabis and opium. Herodotus, writing with no chemistry lab, had gotten it exactly right. Archaeologists also found a 2,500-year-old mummified Scythian woman in the Altai Mountains, buried with a container of cannabis beside her body. She had been ill. The plant was there to help. While this was happening in Central Asia, India had taken a different approach entirely. Instead of burying cannabis with the dead, they made it holy for the living. The Atharva Veda, one of the 4 sacred Hindu texts compiled between 2000 and 1400 BC, lists cannabis as one of 5 sacred plants. The actual verse reads, "May the hemp and kuka grass and bhanga and barley release us from anxiety." The Vedas call it a source of happiness, a joy giver, and a liberator, and say that a guardian angel lives in its leaves. According to a 2023 peer-reviewed study published in PMC, the earliest mention of bhang, cannabis leaves ground with milk and spices, describes it as the food of gods and a gift. The god Shiva, one of Hinduism's principal deities, became known as the Lord of Bhang. The legend says he fell asleep under a cannabis plant, woke up, ate the leaves out of curiosity, and was immediately rejuvenated. Millions of his devotees have been honoring that preference ever since. At Maha Shivaratri, one of Hinduism's most sacred festivals, worshippers still stay up through the night praying and drinking bhang. This isn't a footnote in history. This is thousands of years of unbroken religious tradition around a single plant. And then there was Egypt. The Ebers Papyrus, written around 1550 BC and considered the world's oldest complete medical textbook, records cannabis under the Egyptian name Shem Shemet, hemp ground in honey to treat uterine inflammation, cannabis leaves in pure oil as an ointment, a recipe for sore eyes using cannabis ground with celery, left in dew overnight, then washed over the patient's eyes in the morning. 4 separate ancient Egyptian medical papyri, spanning 400 years of history, all mention cannabis. Egyptologist Lisa Manisha at the University of Copenhagen confirmed the references. Cannabis residue was even found inside mummy wrappings and burial chambers. Someone in ancient Egypt decided, if I'm crossing into eternity, this plant is coming with me. From Egypt, the plant moved west. Dioscorides, the Greek physician working under Rome in the 1st century AD, documented cannabis for joint pain and earaches. The Roman writer Pliny the Elder